Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm so excited to have you connecting in with us. And today, we're going to be focused on looking at how to unmask. We've been talking about unmasking, uncovering things, taking off roles and layers and things that we can sometimes put on intentionally or unintentionally to protect ourselves or hide, but actually create a disconnect, a distance, create a barrier between us and others. So we've been talking about that in October as we're looking at unmasking. And today's show, we wanted to focus in on unmasking a life of inspired purpose. How powerful is that to be able to step into our inspired purpose? And we have an amazing expert that's going to be joining us today. Today is special for a number of reasons, including it is the release of her fourth book, Love at Work, which is all about helping you live a life of inspired purpose in work, in business, at home, personally, all of it together, really, really powerfully. So we've got a great expert that's going to be joining us today, sharing with us from her heart, pouring her wisdom into us as we explore unmasking a life of inspired purpose. And so let's take a moment to just stop, pause, and connect in. Take a breath. Wonderful. It's great to just do a quick check-in and see, are you feeling on purpose? Today, you know exactly what you're called to do to move forward those things that matter most to you. Or are you perhaps a little bit in automatic? Or maybe it feels like that day is just running you, and so you're taking this pause and this break to recenter, connect, and allow others to pour into you. Wherever you are in that, I want to really feel in and see, because I know there's a reason that you connected in today. I know there's a purpose. I know that there is something here for you, or you would not have dialed in. You would not be listening. So I want to invite you to give yourself the gift of being fully present, to really receiving everything that is here today for you, to be open to receiving all that can unexpectedly support you, pour into you, and help you step forward in powerful ways. One of the things we've been excited about, we recently moved our show over to the Influencer channel. And it's such an honor to be on this channel and to be in this place where we together, our amazing guests, our amazing listeners, a community, get to step into that place of influence. We get to step into that place of having an impact around the world. And I believe that starts heart by heart, life by life. Each of us has the opportunity to create influence in our lives, to impact others. So as we were talking about unmasking and stepping into a life of inspired purpose, I want you to really tap into that influence that is beckoning you forth, that is calling you to step forward and shine and share the gift of who you are. Unveil that a little bit more. Bring that forth. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep both hands on the wheel. No texting and driving. Eyes open, alert, just inwardly tuning in to the conversation. Those of you who are able to, put both feet on the floor. Feel it supporting you. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth like through a straw. Wonderful. Bringing oxygen to every cell in your body, lowering your stress levels, those cortisol levels. Take another breath. Become fully present. And go ahead and put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Wonderful. Eyes closed, you're absolutely safe. And in this place, let's take a moment, and I want to encourage you to listen. What is being spoken into your heart and spirit? What is it, as we look at unmasking really your purpose, really stepping into living a life of inspired purpose? What is it that you need? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, inspire you? What is it that will help you step forward? What is it that you need and are willing to receive, because you absolutely have choice? So what is it that you need and are willing to receive to support you to stepping further into your influence? What is it you need? Take a moment to receive that information. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Come back into the room fully present. Wonderful. And take a moment to write down exactly what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's keep it top of mind. Sometimes it can be swirling around in us, but when we can get it out, put it on paper and look at it, it's easier to keep it top of mind, to avoid distraction, and to be open and actively looking to receive exactly what it is that you need. Beautiful. We're going to take a moment and talk with our powerful expert and just see, when we stop for a moment, to pause and listen what was laid on her heart. Olivia, I would love for you to share what was laid on your heart when we stopped, paused, and listened for a moment.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for having me. And as I checked in to my heart, what I really felt that I need more than anything is to get support from others and not try to do it all alone anymore. And really, it's an exciting time with so many people interested in a more inspired life that I really want to do more with others. That's what I got.
Beautiful. I love that. Really being willing to receive that support and not alone, especially as you're bringing forth so much to lead and support the world and unmasking their potential and really stepping into their inspired purpose. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart? What is it that you feel prompting in your spirit that you're willing to receive? As we get ready to go to our first commercial break, as those lovely commercials play in the background, it's an opportunity for you to stop, pause, listen, and integrate what is being spoken in your heart and spirit. So resist the urge to run off and cross things off the to-do list. Really give yourself the gift of these 2 minutes. Stop, pause, listen, and receive. And when we come back, we're going to be digging into this conversation a little bit more and tapping into some of Olivia's amazing wisdom and insight to help all of us bring love at work together and live a life of inspired purpose. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained, Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself that opportunity to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate. Let's take a breath as we come back together. Connecting in. Wonderful. I was listening to one of the phrases in those commercials as it leads in and comes back into our show. And I loved it. It said that we don't follow, we lead. And then it talked about the influencer channel. I just thought that was so perfect for what we're talking about today, unmasking our potential, stepping into that place of influence, that place of inspired purpose. And I believe we all have the opportunity to step into that place, to be able to lead what matters most to us, to bring that forth. But that requires tapping in to your inspired purpose, to how you're made and what you are called to bring forth. And then being willing to share that. And our guest, who I'm going to formally introduce in just a moment, is someone that I feel like is embodying this and walking this talk and is really willing to integrate, bring all of that together, right brain, left brain, gifts, talents, abilities, and is willing to lead and share that and then help us do that too. So let me introduce our amazing guest. Her name is Olivia Parr-Rud. She is a global thought leader, data scientist, award-winning, best-selling author multiple times, and her, I was going to say, unique and powerful approach to business really draws on her passion for data science and holistic leadership, that these are not mutually exclusive. They go together. So she's drawing on her passion for data science and holistic leadership and personal growth through a blending of the right brain and left brain perspective. She's able to bring those together. And today, something that's really special about today is that she's launching her 4th book, and she's taken a moment out of all of those launch activities to spend time with us and pour into us and support us in really stepping into living a life of inspired purpose. So her fourth book is called Love at Work, and it has that @ sign. It's available on Amazon as of today. Dun, ta-da! You can find it for $1 for the next 24 to 72 hours, as she wants to make it available to as many people as possible around the world to have this valuable book support them on their journey. So can you lean in and warmly welcome as we celebrate with Olivia and welcome her to the show, the amazing Olivia Parr-Rud. Welcome!
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's great to be here.
You are so welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us. And I know we've been talking some behind the scenes. I had such an honor of reading your book before it was released, and it has so many, that right brain and left brain perspectives are woven throughout it so powerfully, from amazing business statistics that are so compelling about why it's critical for business's success to bring love in, and it's also critical for the individual's success in life and having a balanced, fulfilling life, to remember to love themselves too and bring all of them forth. So just found your book so amazing, and I would love for you to share why you brought it forth, why this book spoke to you and you knew this was the time to bring it forth.
Well, that's a great question, and a lot of people wonder, because it does feel like it's bringing things together that may not make sense. A lot of people think love and business are mutually exclusive. So what happened was, when I was young, I was kind of this mystical kid, and I was early in my life as an adult became a spiritual seeker. But I studied mathematics and statistics, and so I eventually ended up in the corporate world, and it felt very disjointed from my spiritual life and my heart space. And so I had to kind of hide that part of myself. And I ended up becoming well known for my statistical modeling, and I wrote a book in 2001 called Data Mining Cookbook that was a global bestseller. So I became this overnight star of predictive modeling, and then got invited to speak at a lot of conferences. In the meantime, I was working for a couple different companies over the years that were doing all these mergers and acquisitions, mainly credit card banks that were buying each other up or merging. And the cultures were so fear-based and just seemed like they didn't care about the people. And what I saw when that happened was that the best people left, and it really did hurt the company. So I thought, there's something missing here that companies aren't getting. And at the same time, as I was speaking at these conferences, I started pitching topics on the importance of good communication and how to collaborate and why it's important to be creative, even if you're a scientist, and all these things. And the conferences, these were big data conferences, they loved these topics, but I couldn't really monetize it. I was traveling a lot, I was doing them for free because I really enjoyed it, but I had to kind of pull back. But I did get asked to present a keynote for a big SaaS conference one year. So I combined all these topics, and I called it Business Intelligence Success Factors. And the head of publishing was there from SaaS, and she invited me to write a book on that. So for the next year, I wrote that book, which was a very scientific academic book, talked about quantum physics and evolutionary biology and how we can look at organizations as these self-adapting systems. And somewhere along the way, I read Thomas Friedman's book, The World is Flat. And it occurred to me that I lived in this world of technology as a business person. And as it was speeding up, everybody was getting more stressed and needing others more, because with technology being so advanced, no one can do it all anymore. You have to work with others. If a CEO angers his COO or his chief or CTO, the chief technical officer, and that chief technical officer decides to walk off, he could take down the company with just his knowledge of how all the technology works that the CEO doesn't have a clue many times. Yeah. So I realized that treating people well actually could be good for business. So that was what sparked kind of the second book, the meat of it, and started inviting me into this third book. Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, this is wonderful. You just shared so much great information. I want to just give us a moment to kind of digest some of it. So I love how you shared that in your roots, you really started, as you described yourself, as kind of this mystical child, and that you really had that part of you was so strong in connecting in. And then, but you also had this strong data processing science side to you. And that's a lot of what you brought to the corporate world. And as you started, that you had to keep them separated, or felt like you did. And you have just such amazing success in all that you've done on the data science side, and the opportunities that you've had to impact so many people with that. But you also observed that when things became so fear-based, that there was actually a decline in productivity, and it really did not only affect the people, but affected the company. And so to me, I like how you're already at that time in your life, that's, if we take a snapshot, you're starting to weave in some of these other parts of you about communication, really bringing all of us in, and the importance of how much we need each other. And that's just becoming more and more the case with everything that is going forth. So I just appreciate you sharing that. I want to give us all just kind of a moment to take that in and maybe think about our own journeys and what we've observed in the path, and where there might be some similarities of where we've seen fear-based things, and how that can shift so powerfully when we start to enhance communication and lean into and appreciate each other. And you were just sharing how that led into, I believe, your third book, because I wanted you to continue.
Well, and it's funny because, as you were saying what I just said, or kind of reframing it, I realized that was what was on my heart, too, when we first started, was this need to be more collaborative, which I know is important, and yet I feel like I've had to be on my own for so much. So it's a reminder for myself as well. It's like what I write, I'm teaching myself to in addition to hopefully sharing useful information. So as I started feeling this draw to write this heart-based book, which really has been simmering for over 10 years, somewhere along the way, like in 2013, I think, SAS asked me to write another technical book, and I really didn't want to. But I thought, okay, I had this fear that if I came out with all this kind of lovey stuff to my technical world, that they'd blow me off as some flake, right? So I thought, okay, I'll write another technical book, and then that'll establish me so they can't blow me off as some, woo-woo, whatever. And so then I wrote a book for SAS, teaching how to use their software. It's called Business Analytics, using Enterprise Guide and Enterprise Miner. If you need something to put you to sleep, that would be the book. But in each chapter, I wrote a section on taking it out. I called it Notes from the Field, and it was really the human stuff and how readers could take the results from their analysis and actually help the business community understand it and what they want to hear, not what maybe the analyst would like to say, but what is it that the business person needs. And because of that, it won Best of Show at the Carolina Technical Book Competition, which was a total surprise to me. But they said it was because of that human part. So it just reinforced that whole idea that people are hungry for this stuff. And I think the millennials today even speak to that, how they're just wanting more meaning in their work.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love how you, even in that very technical focus, you are compelled to bring in the human side and help people apply it, help people use it, that the data is there to help make a difference and translate to action and be used. I think that's so powerful. And I was reflecting on your cover, because I know that cover was something that you put so much thought into, that it was really a vision that you were given to bring forth. I'd love for you to describe your cover to those of our listeners today who haven't had a chance to see that book, to see the cover.
Well, thanks for that asking. I was doing some guided visualization work with a coach, and the picture appeared, and it was this heart with these 4 quadrants. So in a way, maybe the 4 parts of the brain. And so we have, people, and then nature, and kind of business, which came to my vision as buildings, and then spirit. And I just saw them in a heart. So I don't know if I've actually really gotten all the information that's sharing, but it just felt like within the heart. And maybe if I think about it this way, some people think that the heart is all feeling, but there's, I think, many parts to it. In fact, we know that there's brain cells in the heart, right? There's also brain cells in the gut. So we're learning all this new stuff about our bodies that kind of speaks to what is our experience. And the other thing is that our intuition, which I feel when I'm tapping into it, that it's in my heart area, my heart chakra, you might say, is where we can actually get knowledge. We can get into deeper insights that our right brain is processing, perhaps putting together patterns that we can't track with our left brain. So I feel like the heart is this tool that if we really intend it more as a place to be during the day in business, that we will get more insights and make better decisions and feel more fulfilled, I think.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that, all contained within the heart. So powerful. I really appreciate you sharing a little bit about that cover and the vision, because I know that's something that was a powerful message, and a lot of time was spent on finding the right feeling for each of those quadrants to really bring it forth. And what I think is interesting with books, so many people make a decision to lean in and purchase by the cover, what they see, how they feel, how it touches them. And so I love that you put so much thought and care into that, because then you're connecting on that heart level that contains all of those aspects, along with the title Love at Work, that all of this is tied together. It's not separate. And I really appreciate that. And I know those of you who haven't seen the cover yet, when you do, I encourage you to see what message it is sharing with you. Now, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break here, 2 minutes, and I want to encourage you to stop, pause, and integrate. See what is being spoken into your heart and spirit from the conversation today. And just make a little side note. I want to remind you of, in case you didn't hear earlier, that the book is available today, Love at Work, on Amazon.com. We've been sending social media blurbs out about it. I want to make it available to as many people as possible. So it's on special today for $1 for the next 24 to 72 hours. So you do want to make sure to take action on that and just kind of make a note so that you can stay fully present. But when the show completes, if you feel that prompting, you know exactly where to go to lean in and say yes. And we'll remind you towards the end of the show. But I want you to really take a moment as we go into break to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate. And if you were to draw a heart, what would you put in it? We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, and I'm curious what you would draw in your heart. If it would be 4 quadrants, what would you include that would encompass all that is important to you? If you were looking at combining love and work and your purpose, what would you put in that heart? What would that container hold? And I love the reminder that Olivia was sharing with us that we're discovering all these amazing things about our bodies, and that there are brain cells in our heart, brain cells in our gut, tapping into all this information and knowledge that sometimes we're thinking is just in our head when it's actually all of us that we can tap into. So I love that reminder. I so appreciate that. And we've been talking with Olivia Parr-Rud, who is the author of Love at Work, and it's the @ sign, Love at Work, that is available as of today, launched today on Amazon for a special rate of $1. $1 US for the next 24 to 72 hours. And we are talking with the amazing author. She's taking time out of her busy launch activities to stop, pause, and share with us. And I just really, really appreciate that. And you've been sharing some of what led to bringing this book forward. And I was thinking, as whenever we create something and we bring a book like this together, and it was 30 years in the making. You said there was a long creation process for this book. And then when it comes out and it's being launched on the world, like, that's an exciting moment. What is it that you're hoping will come from it? What is the impact? How the influence? How are you hoping lives will be touched by this powerful book?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like I'm writing it to myself 25 years ago, and I'm hoping that others that are in the corporate world will stay in the corporate world but open their hearts, because I try to prove with data, but I also share my experience of how much that helped me. And I feel like when people are starting to feel the pressures of the corporate world, they just want to get out. And what I feel is that corporations are very powerful, and if we can open our hearts and bring love into the culture, we can actually make a huge impact on the planet in a very positive way. So that's kind of my hope there.
Beautiful. So let's lift that up. I want to have that an intention that we come together and lift up that beautiful vision, backed by incredible data. Trust me, in the book, great data, and showing how bringing love in that way into the corporation can have such a huge impact around the world, and we can come together and leverage all that has been created by corporations and become part of that in a really powerful way. So I love that. Now, is there a favorite part of your book? Like you just flip to that section and you're like, oh, I can't wait till someone sees this.
Oh my gosh, what a good question. So when you ask that, I think about chapter 2. So chapter 1, lots of statistics about companies that embrace loving practices, right? We know that they do better on a little long run. Chapter 2 was something that sort of came to me, and it's really about the evolution of consciousness. When I spoke earlier about the millennials, I feel like there's a lot out there that millennials want meaning in their work, and they want to lift all boats and make a positive difference. I don't remember people when I was that age talking like that. So I feel like it's exciting, and that's one of my favorite parts of the book, that the younger people are coming in, I think, at a higher level of consciousness, and they want to bring spirituality and business together, for lack of a better way of saying it, but that's how I say it, is that they want not just to work for money, but to work for making the world a better place. And so I'm excited for people to read that part.
I love that section. I also liked how you laid out different generations and kind of showing strengths in them and maybe challenges and perspectives. And it was almost like identifying, where am I? And looking at these things. And then when we identify where I am, where we are in it, also appreciating the other perspectives in a different way. And I thought, wow, if we could have that perspective and really appreciate and bring all of that together in a collaborative way, what an incredibly rich environment we could live and work in.
I agree. Yes, definitely.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. Now, I'm just looking, I have notes and so many questions and things that I wanted to talk to you about, so I'm choosing.
Okay.
I would love for you to talk about your signature love at work method. That's something that I also feel like was so powerful that you reveal and bring forth in this book. Do you mind sharing what that is and a little bit about that?
I'd love to. When I first started writing, I didn't really know that there was a process that I had followed. And then as I looked at the different steps, I realized that there were sort of these 4 phases. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun if I could name them to spell the word love, right? And so I said, okay, the first thing I worked on with myself, which is sometimes a lifetime process, and I'm still working on it, but it's the self-love piece. So step 1 is love all of yourself. And I feel like until we do that healing work, do the shadow work, really own our weaknesses and do the healing, it's very hard to step in and be vulnerable with an open heart at work, because it can be a harsh place. So the first step is love all of yourself. And that's ongoing, but when we get working with that, then we can start, what are our gifts? So I call it our superpowers, and the O part is own your superpowers. And there's processes in the book for figuring out maybe what are yours, and I'm sure everybody knows some of their gifts already. V is visualize your inspired purpose. So maybe there's a theme in those gifts and something you're really drawn to, could be caring for the planet or needy children or things like that, that you feel like might be part of what you're here for. And then E is engage with your tribe. And these are just different ways to, what I'm learning to do, collaborate with people, how to get your ideas out, how to share and engage others, and perhaps get into groups where you can support each other in reaching your inspired purpose. So those are the steps.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I love how that naming a process and creating a process is fun for you. I love that.
Yes, that's the left brain, right? Exactly.
But it's beautiful. You embrace that fully, and it's fun and creative, and you're enjoying that. So I appreciated that. So the love message, and I just want to make sure I got this right. So love, meaning love all of ourselves fully. And then own our gifts.
Our superpowers.
Our superpowers. Thank you. Thank you. I want to make sure I get it right. Own our superpowers. And then visualize. See if there's a theme in there and what matters to us, kind of visualizing that. And then engaging in it, engaging those people around us too to bring that forth.
Yes.
Beautiful. So, listeners, guess what time it is? It's that 2-minute break time coming up here. And I would love for you to take these 2 minutes and write down love and see one thing in each of those areas that you can be mindful of today that's really being spoken into your heart and spirit. What is something that you're being prompted to remember to love about yourself, to own? Maybe a superpower that is being prompted, that is you're being reminded of, because we can forget sometimes or take for granted. And it visualizes there a theme coming to you to bring forward and engage. How can you further engage or engage another? So take these next 2 minutes. You've got your heart over here. You can bring that with you with all that you put into it. And take a moment to stop, pause, and feel into this powerful love method. And with that, we will look forward to talking to you in 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-host Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
Hear the stories. Be motivated. Be inspired. Join us today. Voice America Influencers.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and getting to play around with love a little bit and feel into that in your heart, in your spirit, and really looking at just kind of tying this back to how we opened the show of really unmasking living a life of inspired purpose and how important it is to make sure that we're keeping ourselves in that equation and being willing to step into our influence. We've been talking with the amazing Olivia as she is sharing about her book and her powerful signature method, Love at Work. And it's an opportunity for us to stop, pause, and feel in and look at, are we connecting to those things, or are we treating them like they're mutually exclusive? And Olivia's had a very powerful message of helping remind us that they can be integrated together. In fact, are more powerful when we do that. And I was reflecting on one of the comments you shared, Olivia, in the opening segment when we stopped, paused, and listened. And you shared the reminder that we're not alone and there is support. And what I feel like you've provided so beautifully in this show, it's like walking that talk. You've given us such great support and reminders, and that we aren't alone, and there is this collaboration of us coming together, and your beautiful method of tapping into love in that way is so powerful. And I wanted to see if you would mind sharing with us a little bit of how you walk some of these things on a daily basis, because I know this has been a journey for you. If you'd pull back the curtain and share.
Well, that's a great question. As I started, in my regular life, I was naturally warm, but that actually took some work early on in my life. But I would certainly be very discriminating with it. And then when I got into this business culture that was very fear-based, I had to really intentionally go to my heart space and think, okay, if I'm a loving person, what do I do or say right now? And that was kind of my mantra for a few years until it became more natural. And then what I started doing, which I suggest to your listeners, is to practice this in your day-to-day life. If you have a workspace where you might want to explore it, I would say before you even attempt that, just in your daily life, practice opening your heart. So a great place to do it is, say, at the grocery store, at the checkout counter. Just feel your heart going to this person that's ringing up your groceries, and they probably have a pretty tough life if they're standing there all day dealing with that. They may love it, but I think a lot of times it's maybe something that they might get tired at the end of the day or whatever, and you can cheer them up by just feeling love. And then I often try to find something I can say nice about, maybe, oh, I like your dress, or you have such a nice smile, or great hair. I like to just give them a little love feeling. And I think is another tactic is, if you know you're going to have a difficult situation with someone or even an entity, a bank or insurance company or something like that, feel yourself sending love energy to whoever it is you're in contact with, or if you don't know the person, just send it to the organization. I have shared this with other people, and I've just been amazed at the results people have. So if you, let's say there's a person in your life and you're about to have a difficult conversation, before you even see the person, in your mind's eye, say, I love you, and feel into your heart, and just feel energy going from your heart to theirs. And it doesn't mean that you're forgiving them or letting them off the hook if they've hurt you or they're not doing right by you. Just ignore that for now, because giving love is sort of this unconditional process, and you don't have any expectation from it. You don't want to be attached to anything happening, but just notice if it shifts the energy. So that's a suggestion I have for your audience.
I love that. And sending love, because something I hear a lot today is people, they can be disheartened or they can be discouraged looking at certain things or feeling in certain things. And sometimes what will follow that is a sense of overwhelm or hopelessness and helplessness, like I can't make a difference. And to me, you're sharing, like, in our everyday practical life, how we can send love to another. And I was thinking, wouldn't that be a gift for myself, unknown to me, that people are lifting me up, that they're supporting me, that they're sending love. And I think vibrationally, we can feel that. We can feel uplifted. We can feel encouraged and pay that forward and bring that forward. And as I look at those ripple effects of love going out, like, that's making a difference around the world. That's stepping into a place of influence and bringing our love forth. would you lead us through? I would love for us to do this real time. Like, this is a place of action, not just the to-do list. I would love for us. So can you, and listeners, everyone think about someone, something that you're feeling like maybe needs a little more support, a little more love, a little more encouragement. Kind of get that in your mind's eye. So you want to have clarity on where it's going. If that clarity is needed, and I'm going to hand that over to you, Olivia. You are the expert in that. Please guide us through sending love.
All right. So as Rebecca had us do at the beginning, let's just put our feet on the floor and take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe one more time. And then notice your energy in your heart space. Just keep your awareness there. And as you're doing that, think of someone, and it could be someone you know well, or it could be someone you don't know well, but you're having some challenges with that person. And see this in your heart space, this pink light just kind of swirling. And then imagine that going out of your heart space through the ethers to this other person. And now I'm going to ask you, I'm going to challenge you to do something that might feel very difficult, but I promise you it's good to try it anyway, all right? So if you know the person's name, or maybe just you could describe them. So I will imagine someone, let's say I'll call him Victor, and I'm angry with that person. So I will say from my heart space, I'm going to say, I love you, Victor. I love you, Victor. I love you, Victor. And I don't have any attachment. I just feel it. I'm saying you don't even really have to feel the love so much. I think if you're in your heart space, you will feel it. But don't judge whether you think it's genuine or anything. Just say it, and then take another deep breath, and then just let it go. So in my experience, when I've done that ahead of a meeting or a situation, it's made a difference, and a few of my friends have tried it as well. But I've done this for many, many years, and I have continued to be amazed at how powerful it is.
Thank you. Thank you so much for walking us through that and empowering us to bring more love into the world. And I definitely felt my heart warming. I could feel that energetically, and I appreciate you taking a moment to walk us through that.
My pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And listeners, I hope that you also felt that warmth and that uplift. I even felt like an uptick in energy. You know, when we're bringing love, that's a very high vibration, high energy to the world, and collectively coming together, so powerful. So thank you for leaning into that, Olivia. Thank you for joining us today and sharing so beautifully, authentically, and powerfully with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Rebecca.
I'm thrilled, and we will have you back. Love it.
Thank you. I'd love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And listeners, as you get ready to go back out into the world, I wanted to follow up, there we go, on my promise that I would remind you where you can find her book if this is resonating with you and you'd love some additional practices and ways that you can bring love into the workforce. And I can tell you that first chapter with those statistics are shared in such a powerful and compelling way. I found it energizing and exciting to see the vision of what we can do in corporate America and what we can do in our personal lives. A really powerful book. It's on sale today on Amazon.com for $1 $1 for the next 24 to 72 hours. You're able to get it on a special pre-sale order. So I invite you to lean into that. We'd love to have you access this amazing book and help us get the word out. We want to impact as many people as possible. And for each of you, as you go back out into the world, I want you to remember you are beautifully and wonderfully made on a purpose and for a purpose. And I believe you are being called forth now to step further into your power, further into your influence. So today, as you go forth, do so on purpose and be willing to share just a little bit more of you within those beautiful echoes of love. And with that, wherever you go, whatever you do, please remember, and I hope you choose to bloom where you are planted and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.